Come house hunting with us. We are in the market for a home for our 3 noodle horses, but especially for our eldest noodle horse, Abby. The home must be perfect for Abby. This is actually the second house that we looked at. The first one we looked at, we kicked the foundation a few times and decided it wasn't right for us. This one had like all the character, which we loved, but it just wasn't giving noodle house, if you know what I mean. It wasn't long and narrow enough, but honestly the location was fantastic, which made it a little bit tempting, but it truly just didn't feel like the right fit for us. Abby enjoys a little bit more carpet. She doesn't like how clickety clackety the wood is on her feet. This was the only bathroom, which was a little disappointing. Imagine trying to get 3 muddy dogs all the way upstairs to get clean. It would not work. This is the third house. They really did a good job of photographing this kitchen because it looked a lot bigger online, but the laundry room was in the front room, which I thought was a little strange. This back giant like great room area though was very nice. Would be great for noodle dogs, and it had a good yard, but the flow of the house was offensive, so we were just not into it. Now on to the fourth house. They did some nice updates. The flooring was new. The kitchen is actually like pretty baller. I like this back area because we've never had a dining room before, so that would be cool for like a board game night. But again, the flow of the house was off and not shown, but the stairs were way too steep for Abby, so it was a no-go. House number 5 had some nice updates, a pretty nicely established kitchen, and real wood floors, but the basement was like a horror movie. I could literally never go down here without running up the stairs at night. Also, there was mold, and this horrifying dark crawl space. The final house had the best flow for me, and I was obsessed with all the windows, but a bunch of them were painted over so you couldn't even open them. Super rude. But I imagine a nice breakfast nook here, but then I went upstairs and that ruined everything for me. Again, I just really don't do creepy little crawl spaces, but the long and narrow hallway was on point, and the yard was really fantastic, but I think overall we definitely have not found the noodle house yet. At first glance, Abby thought this house was actually pretty great. The short black curtains were throwing her off a little bit though. The kitchen was nice and long like Abby herself, but Abby couldn't imagine begging for food from those little church pews in the back. The bathroom actually had a good tub for bath time, but Abby never wants to have a bath again, so that was a red mark. Not shown, but the stairs were a little precarious for Abby. She would never be able to haunt the upstairs or sit outside on this sick balcony. Super nice yard and great access to Mount Tabor, but it was a no for Abby dog. The second house was cute as a button. It even had the perfect acoustics for Abby's cries. And that kitchen, it had the perfect counters for a snoot to clear. All disclaimer, but I only film the cute stuff. I forget to film like the actual bad technical stuff. So like, yeah, this house looks amazeballs, but the stairs to this one were even worse. It was like asking Abby to climb Mount Everest every day. And I mean, love that girl, but her legs don't work like they used to before. Shout out to Ed Sheeran. Now this house was a real find, and Abby was almost sold on it for real. But at night, Abby likes to stand on her back 2 legs and run around, and the ceiling upstairs was just too short for that activity. These stairs were perfect though. Perfect Abby stairs. This fourth house was also a cutie patootie, but there really wasn't enough room for Abby to throw her big butt around, and you know she'd be throwing that thing. This house didn't even have stairs. A dream. But the bathroom had these double door situation. Imagine trying to trap Abby in this bathroom. She would just slip out one of the doors before you could close them both. Also, there was a swimming pool in the basement. Abby doesn't like getting her grippers wet unawares. This one was pretty easy on the eyes, but not so much the wallet. Surprise, surprise. Also, the hallways were a little tight, and Abby likes to throw her body around a lot, and she doesn't want to have to touch Marcy if she walks past her in a narrow hallway. I respect that about her. The basement was perfect for opening a portal to hell, and the yard was cool, but this was a no. Now, this house was something. It was honestly a little horrifying, but that's right up Abby's alley. She takes back everything she said about scary narrow hallways, because the basement of this one really spoke to Abby. There were like these basement level windows that someone had broken in. This is great for Abby. She doesn't know how else she would make friends. So yeah, come on over, come on in. This next house had a hot tub. Need I say more? Just picture Abby soaking her grippers in there at all hours of the night. Perfection. But it was in the middle of nowhere, which was great for Abby, but I don't want to do that. Honestly, a 10 out of 10 home though. Like really no complaints. I really liked this house. Now, this house was adorable, but was it also across from this very scary empty parking lot? Why, yes it was. This would be another great way for Abby to make friends. They could stare at each other through the windows from long distances. Also, the basement was like super cute and finished too. I'm just really anti-giant lot next to my house. Sue me, I guess. Also, Abby's badonkadonk would 100% get stuck between this toilet and shower door, and that would just be too embarrassing for her to live down. Now, I really thought this house might be the one, purely based off of the internet information that I found about it. It was adorbs, and there was a backyard studio where Abby could pretend that she didn't know us and that we are, you know, squatting on her property. But at the end of the day, it wasn't haunted, and we need it to be just like a little bit haunted, just like a tiny bit. And then this last house, Abby just wanted to look at to make us feel bad about ourselves because she knew it was out of her budget. But she wanted us to know that this is what her budget looks like, and if we can't live up to that within the next year, she's gonna find a new family. So that was really nice. This concludes this week's hunt for the Noodle House. Better luck next time.